Hello and thank you for watching. So last video I introduced informational interviews and I wanted to continue talking a little bit more on that. So informational interviews are a great resource, especially if you are seeking employment or also just for building those critical relationships which will really help improve the trajectory of your career. So I came across a great framework called the TIARA method. It was coined by a gentleman called Steve Dalton, who wrote a book called The 2-Hour Job Search, and that is another great resource to consider, especially if you're in the job market. And it plays on the acronym TIARA. So in your informational interview, to ask questions around trends, insights, advice, resources, assignments, resources and assignments. And the idea behind this framework is that it helps to build likability, especially if you're a little more socially awkward like myself, as well as you start by framing the individual as an expert, the individual that you are interviewing, and then gradually move towards other questions which are related to, which would help you ideally then start building that relationship so that they can become a potential advocate and a mentor. So I'm just going to go through one sample question under each quickly, and then we'll close. So under trends, one of the questions you could ask is, what are the trends impacting your business the most, or in your field right now? With this question, it actually positions the individual that you're interviewing as an expert, which then really allows them to just speak from an area where it is their strength, it is something they understand, it is, and then they move on. So having looked at that, the next sample question I would be under insights. So having had a global view, you now want to move a little bit closer and ask a little bit more specific questions. And I'm just going to do one sample question under insights. So there's a number of insight questions that you can ask, but one of the questions you can ask is, for you in your career, what has been the greatest aha moment? What have been those? Can you share any of those insights? Now you're starting to come a little closer to home, a little bit more personal, and the individual will really share invaluable information around insights, what has been insights for them, and more specifically, what has been insights in the organization they are currently working at, which even in the industry that you're aspiring to enter into. And also, it really starts increasing your likability. I think every individual really appreciates or, talking about their journey, their experiences. Okay, and then A, this is when we start, A stands for advice. Remember, the idea behind this is that we not only want to build a relationship, but we actually want to, hopefully this individual becomes our advocate. And so one of the questions that you can ask is, can you give me any advice if I actually wish to be in your position? And another question that I'd say also ask, just find out about what are the skills that are sought after in this role. So I'm running out of battery life. I'll continue on the last two questions.